Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 153 of Trials and Trebuchets. I'm your bloopin' dungeon master, and my name's Luke, and joining me are my players whose names are...
Don't yell at us.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I play the level 7 gnome wizard Wallaby, along with this cutty little cat, Mr. Wiggles.
Meow.
No, it's supposed to be a roar.
Oh, it's like meow meow. No, that's stupid. I'm cutting that.
I mean, the horn, like,
Yeah.
horn nose.
Thanks, Sam got it. Sam got it.
Yeah, hello everyone, it is me, Carla, and I play the level 7 Tiefling Roguelike Integrity Idle Berry. In this cottage court, King Bed will be getting Artis back. I've been eating, cleaning, wishing on these stars you'll be back tonight. Our mentor, not a rock.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 7 half-elf bard. Artis died, he resides in a pebble. Now's the time, our design we have waited for 1,000 years. Might have to wait 1,000 more, but I hope not. Please work.
And my name is Sam, and I play the level 7 human sorceress, Sarah Nipsinderman. And as you can tell, episode 2 of our very classically known year-long recording session where we do not stop and take breaks is going very well.
And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students began potluck prep. Integrity advertised at Dining Hall, while Mira and Delnis got poster supplies and undead reading material from the archives. Meanwhile, Winsler brought Sereneth up to speed before the group teleported to the ritual chamber, also known as Artis Artesian's newly renovated cottage.
Yay!
It is midnight at Wildcliff, School of the Arcane, School of the Necromantic at this moment in time. What is the setup to shuttle anyone who might show up to Artis's cottage?
Winsler is outside at the Hall of Voyages.
Excellent. Are
Getting
you
people.
dressed in any certain specific way, Winsler?
Nope.
Or just normal? Just normal?
Just normal.
Okay. Soon after the clock strikes 12, Winsler, Alina Hollyfield is here. I think she might even be here a couple minutes early because, you know, you gotta be punctual. And she'll just kind of like awkwardly be standing nearby. Are you sending her on her way, or are you going to wait for everyone possible to show up first?
I'm gonna send her on her way. I don't want to
Okay.
keep anybody waiting just so they can
Okay.
get in and, hang out.
So, in that case, Alina will show up and say, hi, Integrity strong-arms me into coming tonight. Where do I go?
All right, so you're just going to want to step on the teleporter there, and you're going to be going to Artis Artesian's cottage, and the password for that would be Fadan.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And she will go through the Hall of Voyage doors, Winsler, up to the teleportation circle. A few moments pass. Midnight strikes. Everyone is now late, as it were, Winsler.
That tracks.
But one person does arrive just moments after midnight. She's dressed in all black robes with like her hood pulled up. As she walks up in the light of the small campus lights, like the walkway lights, Winsler, these little candle-lit almost sconces hanging from buildings here or there or floating next to paths, cast a like long shadow, and she'll pull her hood back, and you can see she looks a bit older than you all. She still looks to be like student aged. She has this light brown skin, curly-ish brown hair, and is wearing circular glasses. She seems to be fairly tall and very thin, and she will say, "Oh, hi, I saw the posters, and I wanted to, it seemed really interesting. Are you still accepting people to come and help out?"
We are accepting people. May I get your name?
Oh, my full name is Luciana Lima Olivier. You can
All
just call
right.
me Luciana.
All right, and I'm gonna conjure up like a little like clipboard.
Notepad.
clipboard and pull out like a little quill and just like
Yes.
try and spell her name as best I can, but I only get to like Lucia, and then it like stops because I run out of room.
Absolutely. She will kind of be like fiddling with her fingers, and she'll go, so is it just you, or how does this work? What's going on? The poster didn't have a ton of details.
So, my associates will explain more. For now, I will just have to guide you to the teleporter.
Absolutely.
You're gonna want to say the destination is Artis Artisan's cottage, and the password will be Fadan.
Oh, absolutely. And you'll lead her. She'll stand on it. Repeat those words after you. Artis Artisan's cottage, Fadan. And the goblin statue goes like, its little hand clenches and its eyes squint. and this upper year student disappears, Winsler. And you
Do
can head
I
back down to
happen to recall that name at all, or do I like?
You could make either history or insight check, Winsler.
I got better history, so I'll do
Okay.
that.
Yes, you search your brain as you walk back down to the front door. Yeah. The name
9.
definitely. Yeah. The name definitely does not ring true to anyone you know. Nor does her face, unfortunately. It's like that feeling of like there's something, like almost when you have a word on the tip of your tongue and you're like, it's something is here, and you're like, I recognize her, but I don't, right? Like,
Oh, well.
maybe you've just seen her like in a hallway.
Probably.
But when you arrive at the front door, there are 2 people standing here now waiting for you. They are
Howdy.
Howdy. A short 2-foot tall person says. This person is looks to be reptilian of a sort. They're 2 feet tall. They are a bubblegum pink color.
Oh my god.
Is it a
And
kobold?
on their face, like almost like molded to like the stubby reptilian face of hers, is a butterfly mask. And it's this blue and pink butterfly mask. And these 2 little horns are poking out from behind it. And she'll put out a hand and say, "Hello, I am the cobalt butterfly, kissed by the dew-wet rose in the morning sun." That's a mouthful, but you
my
can just call me
God.
Duet. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
I love her.
All right, it's nice to meet you, Duet, and I'm gonna shake her hand.
Yes, she's slightly shorter than you.
It's nice to meet someone who's actually shorter than I am.
It's a strange, really weird thing. Like, there's halflings around, but they're, like, really tall. You're only minorly taller than me, and it's kind of comforting in a way.
I would agree.
Yeah. It's good to meet you. And then the other person standing here, Winsler, will, as Duet continues to bubble up and try to say things, will say, "Hello, it is good to be here on this night at midnight under darkness." And you look up and see a red-haired, pale, pasty elf who's just like hunched and looking down at you, Winsler. And they're wearing student robes. He's wearing student robes as well. And he says,
Well, hello. And what might
Hello.
your name be?
"I am Aelin.
How do you spell that?
Aelan. It says so," and he'll pull out from a pouch in his robes and he'll hand you a notebook that on the front says Aelin's personal notebook. And he says, "It's spelt like this."
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yes.
write. I'm gonna write on the clipboard.
It can get confusing at times.
All right. You both seem
I'm very excited for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
prim and proper enough. All right, follow me.
Absolutely. Duet follows you, and Aelin, slack-jawed, follows you, Winsler. He's probably like 6 foot tall.
Oh God.
And
I'm
so
scared.
stands out like a thumb between the 2 of you.
Not even a sore
Just a
thumb, just
thumb.
a thumb.
And so you can bring them and send them on their way, Winsler. And then you can go back to the front doors and wait a little while longer. How long were you going to wait in total?
I don't know how many people we actually need, so I'll probably wait maybe like another half hour.
Can you roll me D100?
Oh fuck.
Actually, let me think. Do I want you to roll D100 or do I want Mira to roll a charisma check?
Oh.
Mira, can you roll a charisma check?
I certainly can do my best at such a thing, just straight charisma.
We can do performance again because of the posters and such. And that's a
Better
really
better
high
you
roll
roll
for
than
you.
me because I have
Yeah.
terrible D100 luck.
And this will just be to see if anyone else noticed, okay?
Oh!
Is it a natural 20?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
That's a total of a 30.
That's a 30.
That's a
Holy
30.
Holy shit. Is that the
Damn.
highest anyone's ever rolled on
All the
this podcast?
student body
fucking
just shows
question.
up and is like,
That's
we want to help.
amazing.
Jesus.
Holy shit. Winsler, as you walk back down, also thinking, do I know either one of those people either? The answer to which
Do
is
I know these people?
a no, falling off that history check. As you walk back down, you'll walk out into the main entranceway and stand there like a little gatekeeper for some time, waiting for any stragglers who might see in the posters. And a figure will walk up, not as like anxiously as the other people who have showed up to this motley meeting tonight, a bit more confidently. You see a maybe familiar face-ish, an elfin woman with black hair, a bit of gray in there. Professor Alaro is going to walk up
Oh.
Winsler and say, and she's holding one of the posters Integrity made, and she'll say, good evening. I saw this poster hanging around the dining hall. I had been waiting there for some time to have chance of meeting with someone. Could you explain to me what this is about?
I guess that depends.
Okay.
What does it depend on?
Would myself and my friends get in trouble?
Well, if you're not doing anything that deigns being in trouble, but I have a sinking suspicion you might already have done something of the sort there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is Mira involved with this by chance?
Who?
Make a deception check with disadvantage, dude. That is...
That's the worst lie ever
Oh, that
told.
Mira.
Oh, that Mira. Okay, well, that was a 9.
Dude.
Like, we're in the same study group, but like we're not close.
Oh,
I
Mira,
kind of
yeah.
forget she exists a lot of the time.
You mean like the redhead Mira in year 5 with...
The redhead Mira, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mira Johnson. Mira.
Yeah.
No, that's
Winsler.
Mira Johnson Gray.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of
Oh.
Mira Johannesson.
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
think she's the
yeah.
7th year.
Yeah.
Winsler, Wallaby, Mr. Wallaby. I've not seen your mentor, Artis Artesian, in weeks, ever since the lot of you came back from the plane of Isithil. Mira was asking me incredibly suspicious questions one evening. I have reason, a very strong reason to believe she was in the necromancy department doing something on the second floor. If there is something going on here regarding the death and re-giving of life to someone, it is in your best interests to tell me what is happening.
Okay, Windsor's gonna do like an audible gulp.
Yeah.
It's
She's
like,
looking down at you, Winsler, not in a way of like, you're in trouble, I'm a teacher, but in a way that I think it would evoke... Give me an
Worry.
insight check, actually. Maybe you are too consumed by like fear.
That's a 17.
Oh, that's actually very good. Yeah, I think this would immediately invoke the memories of like your mother, like looking at you
Oh,
with like
fuck.
a lot of concern, right? Like that's very similar expression.
You
as
can't
she's
lie to
looking
your
at
I
you.
mother.
can't hide anything from my mama. Okay, he's sort of gonna like look down at his feet a little bit and then look back up at her and all right, I'll tell you everything that we're doing and what we're up to, but can we go and do it somewhere private? I don't want anything that I say to leave this place.
Absolutely. Does inside work for you?
Inside works, yeah.
Okay, let's go inside and you can tell me what's happening. And she will walk through the doors to the Hall of Voyages, Winsler. Where are you going to lead her? Just inside or somewhere specific?
I want to lead her to Artis's office because I feel
Perfect.
like that's as good a place as any.
Yep. Okay. So you enter down that steep 90-degree staircase into the basement. You walk into the office. It's covered with a bit of dust and it is just generally messy, and you can shut the door. She will take a seat on one of the wooden chairs and will just look and meet your eyes if you want to, and wait for you to say anything.
All right. So we never went to Isithil with Artis. He never came with us.
Oh.
But when we got back,
Mm-hmm.
something happened, or we found something. There was some sort of demon in the walls, and it seemed to have done something to a lot of people.
All right. What was that something, Mr. Wallaby?
The complete burning of one's physical body and stuffing said souls of that person into pebbles.
She looks like she closes her eyes, almost like she's just in pain or like has a headache, Winsler.
Now it's probably a little bit out of the woodwork, a little bit out there in the field. You might have to go looking a little bit like that missing cow back home, but it's real.
Yes.
I was almost a victim, as evident by the fact that I've got some burns.
So is
Artis-
that what this is about?
Artis's soul is in one of the pebbles that we collected.
God.
And we are now in the process of trying to get his soul back into a good body.
What have you done so far?
Well, we got the body.
And she turns her head when you say that, as if like she's been slapped almost, and she'll say, "Is the body at Mr. Artesian's cottage right now with the rest of your friends and whoever else showed up for this event?"
Yes.
Okay. Can we go? Will you allow me to go? Or I
Are
have to
you
force myself in?
Are you perchance gonna end up in like stopping us or anything?
Make a persuasion check, Winsler.
Oh,
Or actually,
fuck.
I think she'll... No, stop. I think she'll say, convince me not to. Because as I see it, I warned Mira not to do this. I told her this is not the way to go. People die and they are to be left. I know it's semantics to say that his soul got shoved into a pebble or some other vessel, so he's not dead, but if he's not here with us anymore, he's not here with us anymore, and you should leave it at that instead of muddying the waters. So if you have anything to say that can convince me, please, I would love to hear it.
This was the only way that we could think of. We left Artis behind and, we came back to that. That was wrong of us to just leave him alone. We miss him is all.
Make a persuasion check, Winsler.
Fuck. Worst comes to worst, am I gonna have to do
her?
some Winsler shenanigans?
I thought that's what you were going to do to her anyways.
Lemon bomb.
No,
lemon
I'm not.
Bomb,
I'm not
lemon
always
bomb.
like. Okay, Winsler when he's in the front of
Okay.
somebody who has like a title, like an actual professor, things are a little different.
In front of Bert, who gives a shit?
I'm sorry, what'd you
Yeah,
do
it's just Bert.
Bert doesn't count. So that was a 6.
Yeah, Bird is just kind of like nothing.
We're not allowed.
A 6.
Yes.
Kill Professor Alara.
Alma Alaro will nod, Winsler, when you tell her this, and you feel confident when she says, "All right then, please let me come so I can see what I can do to help." And Winsler, you're
Dope.
confident when she says that she is telling the truth.
All right. I'll take you there.
Wonderful. Lead the way, please.
I'm going to lead her to where we are going, which is the
Okay.
portal.
You climb some stairs, Winsler, and lead Alma Alaro, Professor Alma Alaro, to this teleportation pad. You step on it with her and utter the residence of Artis Artesian, Fadan. And the two of you pop are in a small thicket of trees cleared away by the careful hands of Artis's students, and on top of a much neglected teleportation circle made of stone. There's a bed in the garden here on this cold, cold autumn night. Any of your breath will leave, will make like little puffs of fog when you are breathing or speaking to one another. What's the lighting situation looking like?
Do you think he has porch lights?
I like the idea that we just like have candles in a circle just because
I
it
was
feels like it
thinking
fits the
that.
vibe.
Aesthetic, yeah.
I was about to say there could be like fireflies in a jar or something.
Oh, I see.
Aw.
I think the candles and well, it's freaking autumn, so I do not think the fireflies would be
Never know.
resilient this time of year. But
No, but they're in
who's
a
to say?
jar.
Yeah,
They're
they're
giant
they are.
because they're big and
Mm.
designed to
They're
weather the
magical
winter.
fireflies.
Off in the distant woods, you see the glowing, bright oranges of large winter fireflies. But
You would not believe your
closer,
eyes.
but closer to this large bed that you've drug out into the garden, there is a circle of candles that have been lit by your friends in your absence. There's Mira Marchand, Delnus Wraithrin, Integrity Idleberry, Serenep Cinderman, and these four other people, sorry. Alina Hollyfield, Luciana, Duet, and Aelin are standing here. Of the lot of you, I think the one who looks most adequately prepared for a necromantic ritual is the interloper in Luciana, who is dressed in all black robes. She's pulled her hood back up. She
The
seems
interloper.
the interloper. And so the four of you, or the three of you rather, I think would be talking with these new arrivals. I don't know if you'd be quite explaining everything yet or just waiting for everyone to get here and just do it once. But nonetheless, you do see Winslow Wallaby arrive and walk out from that thicket. And behind him, you see Professor Alaro, who is
Begrudgingly.
stone-faced.
Oh.
Wait, is that a bad thing?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I sort of vaguely implied stuff about this to her, and she said that it was a bad idea, but she also didn't know the full context.
Maybe she's here to help us. That's good. Like, we're getting more
Yeah.
people. Like, a professor is more powerful than us. Like,
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
just be cautious.
Integrity, can you make...
cautious is my middle name.
Integrity specifically, because you're the one who's not talking right now. It's Mira and Serenep, they're talking to one another. Could you, Integrity, make me an insight check?
Insight. I got 14.
Okay. I think easily you'd see this young kobold Duet. She is anxiously kind of like chittering and talking to the other two strangers here. And when Professor Alaro arrives, I think she would stop that and just be silent and kind of like staring down. I think you would maybe notice a similar reaction of the other girl who had shown up, Luciana. And additionally, Delnus looks terrified when she sees Professor Alaro arrive. Make of that what you will.
Is this bad?
I mean, she's here to help us, right?
Unclear.
Maybe we should talk to her before she gets into the garden. maybe?
Students,
Like,
can I speak to you for a second?
which ones?
Sorry. Miss Marchand, Miss Cinderman, and Miss
Got it.
Idleberry. Oh, and Miss Wraithrin. You're here too. Could you all come and speak to me for a moment over here? And Mr. Wallaby, you can stay also.
Wait,
Okay.
me integrity?
You, Integrity, Idleberry, yes, please.
You guys help yourselves to the snacks. We're just going to be a moment.
The
No one touch the body. Thank you.
what is the the Gollum stands here, the sheet's still on it. Goes Gollum.
Good job, Dave. Let's go.
You
stay
all
here.
walk over to this small thicket by the teleportation circle. Do you say anything?
Lovely
until she
evening
says
for a
something.
stroll.
What are you doing here? Mira, I specifically told you not to do this. Delnus, you should know much better than to engage with something like this. The three of you, I don't know if Mira relayed what we spoke about or Delnus said anything about this, but I expected better from both of you.
You said you couldn't help me, and that's fine, but our mentor his soul is trapped in a pebble, and that's not natural.
Let
He's
him-
not alive, he's not dead, he's just stuck in there. We're not raising the dead, we're just putting him in a different body.
He's gone, isn't he?
No,
He's not here. He doesn't have a body here. Just because his soul remains does not mean he's alive any longer. That is how these things work. Spirits linger. Ghosts are not living, despite the soul remaining. The man died, Mira, and I told you not to try to bring the dead back when you are not certain they want to. Delnus, you've taken 3 years of courses that have tried to ingrain this in your head, and yet you're still here helping.
he's not dead.
There's tons of other students who are in the exact same situation. There was an entire pile of pebbles down there. This is not just one person who, like, died in a horrible accident. This is, like, a bunch of students and I think, like, researchers and all of these people who went missing because of this thing. We can, if we figure out how to help one person, we can maybe help all of them. This is not just about Artis.
Do you know the consequences of what happens here if you don't do it properly? If you get it wrong?
Yes, we got help. We had somebody explain to us how this works. We weren't just
Who?
going off on our own. Probably shouldn't say, but we did get help from some degree of an authority figure, and so we're not just like going in like blind and not knowing anything here.
Make a persuasion check, please, Mira.
I can make a persuasion
If you
check.
succeed on this, it'll bring her back to neutral.
Okay, well that was an 8 plus.
Oh, fuck.
What's my persuasion? I have good persuasion. That's an 8 plus 7. That's a 15.
Okay. She'll look at you, Sereneth, who has just kind of said he's not dead, and will say, I'm very sorry. I should have used more caring. I'm very sorry.
He's not allowed to be dead. I'm sorry. She goes into the house.
Mm-hmm. You got help. Is that why you were in the necromancy department earlier today, Mira?
Yes.
Were the rest of you there too? I know Delnus was waiting outside.
I was.
Okay. Mr. Wallaby?
So was I.
Okay. Wonderful. And what exactly were you doing there?
We were taking supplies to build a flesh golem.
Okay. You were in a very dangerous position. I want to make that very clear. I'm very thankful that all of you are safe and sound, and it's very unfortunate to me that I found that this is what you are safe and sound for.
We got it animated too. We brought it up somewhere where there was a storm, and we did that, and we don't have a lot of time.
So now you've just enlisted strangers to help you. And she'll look up and kind of look at the other students there, and she goes, 2 other necromancers. I feel like our classes are failing a little bit if there's 3 of them here. So what was your
Isn't
plan?
it better if we have a spell? We were given a spell, and we're going to all try to pool our power and cast it, and it should bring Artis back. We have a polymorph potion that'll turn his body back into his own body.
Okay. And she, like, closes her eyes for just a moment, almost like I think looking at her, she looks like a person who's about to say something regretful, and will say, would you like me to watch over this to make sure nothing happens? Or would you rather I leave? And you can do this, and if it goes bad, then I'll know what happened, and I'll be able to tell someone what happened to you all. And if it goes well, we can not talk about this again. Or do you just want me to stay and watch?
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have somebody around just to, someone who isn't taking part in it.
Very well. And she'll kind of walk through the space that was left by Sereneth walking away back into Artis's house.
Oh,
Yes.
Professor Alaro?
What?
I overheard, I just wanted to say thank you about,
Of course.
Okay.
We need to speak about that sometime.
I know.
Okay. And she will continue walking. You see those other 2 students, Luciana and Duet, go very much rigid and like avert their eyes. Luciana pulls the hood higher, almost to hide her face from Professor Alaro, as Professor Alaro walks over and takes a seat on the deck itself. Not standing near the candle circle, but just close enough that she can watch. What are the rest of you doing?
I guess I'll just go and look over and revise the spell.
Sure.
Just to make sure that everything is in order.
Okay. So you go stand by the headboard of this bed with this large page torn from some manuscript in Indumati's personal library, reading over your magic jar spell. Did you make any changes to it? And specifically, are you only going to be reading one section of it, or what's up then? I assume you've taken a look at the spell.
I have taken a look at the spell, and there is a lot to the spell. So first of
Yes.
all, the material component will be gone. We won't need that
Correct.
because we're
yes.
communal casting, as
Yes,
one would
correct.
say.
Since you are
so
a
let's
magic
see.
circle.
So it specifies the self. So we
Mhm.
can probably change that to like a target.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll adjust that so it's a target, and
Just for the context of everyone, could you read this spell as written so that
do you
everyone?
want me to read all of it?
It's a lot.
Do you want me to read all of it?
Do you think you could summarize it fairly well?
Okay, I could probably summarize it. So
Okay, I would
basically,
appreciate that.
it's a self spell. You cast it on yourself. Your body enters a catatonic state, and it enters a container that you use for the material spell component, which that's going to be null, so that part's not
Yes.
going to do anything. Basically, you're just aware of your surroundings when you're in there. You can project your soul from the
Mhm.
container
Mm-hmm.
to return to a living body or possess a humanoid's body. So I think
Yes.
in this case, the container is already present with
Yes.
Artis. So basically, we'll be just projecting the soul from the pebble
Yes.
to the golem, and
Okay.
essentially, Artis's soul will possess the golem. And basically, I think that's it.
Okay.
A lot of it says stuff about if a body has a soul in it already.
Yeah, there's technicalities and such, but if that's
But
the
I would
main
assume that by transferring a soul to a body that has no soul,
point. Mm-hmm.
you'll just take up residence within that new body, and that's just how it will be
Mm-hmm.
instead of being from the container.
Perfect. So Winsler, you go and like revise those things and go over them again and kind of like cool off after that. Mira and Integrity, are you two doing anything?
I'm going to follow Sereneth.
Okay.
And check
Into
up on her.
Artis's house.
Yes.
Sereneth, what are you doing?
I think Sereneth with that moment
Mhm.
goes into the bathroom
Okay.
and she takes one of like a washcloth or something
Mm-hmm.
and she's just running it under cold water
Mm-hmm.
and she just kind of puts it in her face and just like crying.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock on like the bathroom door.
It's occupied.
I would assume so. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I think just everything right now is sort of piling up. I just
Do you want to talk about it?
we can bring it back, right?
We're going
Like
to do our best to bring him back, and I really hope we do.
but like
because,
all we just need more power, right? If we could get more power here and we use that, we could do it, right? Like
Yeah, we can do it. There's a bunch of strangers here who are willing to help us, and I really hope that their powers with ours will be more than enough.
but what if it's not enough? What if
We're
we
going-
try it? What if it just doesn't work?
If it does not work, we're just going to try again, and we can do other things. There's like a wide variety of magic out there, and if this does not work, we can just look at a different page and do something else. We're going to do everything that we can to bring him back. He does not deserve what happened to him. I would argue that a lot of the pebbles down there does not deserve what happened to them. It just so happens that there's this demon from a different dimension who's like wanting to avenge something, and it's not fair that this happened to them. And I really hope that we get Artis back, not just for us, but also for hopefully bringing everyone else back.
Sereneth opens the door to the bathroom
Mhm.
and she looks at Integrity. Please just say it's not my fault. I can't have all these things be my fault right now.
It's not your fault, Sereneth. I'm going to I know that Sereneth is much taller than me, so I'm going to grab somewhere I can stand, and I'm going to hold her right in the shoulders, face to face,
Mhm.
and I'm going to be, it's not your fault. Nothing is your fault.
I think with you saying that, she just kind of collapses in on herself and she just hugs you around the waist and she's like, I just need a moment, please. And she
Like
just
you-
keeps crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to hug her back and I'm going to pat her back and just like let her
Okay.
cry.
Mira, what are you doing?
I think on a lighter note, Mira
Yes.
is probably just going to be like returning to like that little group of people over there, and is going to be sort of doing a little bit of, I guess, prepping the crowd a little.
Okay.
Just kind of whatever safety instructions we've agreed on, relaying that to everybody.
Mhm.
Telling everyone, here's what's going to happen here. If anybody like needs to back out now, this is the time. Just doing that little spiel.
Make an insight check for me.
Sure.
Informed consent, baby.
15, yeah. 15.
Sign this waiver,
plus 3, 18.
You
Okay.
won't lose your soul, I
Uh,
promise.
Albeit that they are nervous, not because of what's happening, but because of who is now here. Those two students, Luciana and Duet, that is their current state. The other one, the guy, Aelin, doesn't look all here. Does that make sense? Like, he's slack-jawed and looks like he's, like, dazed and not really paying
Does
attention.
he seem like magically influenced in any way?
No, just as a passive state of being, maybe, or just like
he's just like this.
Maybe. I think that's the intent. It doesn't seem like he's
Okay.
under the effects of something, Mira. It just seems
Spacing
that
out.
he's spaced out. Yes, like it's
It's
like
midnight.
He'll look at you
It's
a couple of
passive.
times when you speak, and then leave, and his eyes just drift away, and he's looking at everything else. Not in a way of like a ditzy person, but just a person who is looking at other things and not paying attention. Does that make sense?
Interesting. I might like just kind of go a little quiet and be like, "Hey, is everything okay?"
Me? Yes.
Yeah.
I am fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Is everything all right here? Do I need to leave?
No, I mean you can stay. I just want to make sure that you are super keyed into what's happening
Of
and that you're
course.
cool with like being here and doing
Yes.
this.
I wouldn't be here otherwise.
You sound like a cop trying to sell you drugs.
Yeah.
How you do, my fellow students?
There's very
I'm just
powerful
getting-
magic in this area. It's very interesting. Specifically that thing, and he like points with his chin at the golem. It's all just very
Yeah.
exciting.
It's interesting, the ghosts.
I see
don't-
dead people.
Sarah.
Oh, no.
I don't get good vibes here.
Mm,
I
Just cancel. Just
Just
tell him that we're
because-
canceling.
The vibes are way off.
just because
here.
like still being worried about someone like loud shape-shifting and being on campus and feeling like
this guy's a
this
weirdo.
person is behaving very strange. Like
Yeah.
this could just be a weird guy,
Yep.
in which case it's fine. What I might
But also, what
do-
if he's a weird guy?
Hey, we did get
yeah.
a weird guy. So what I might do is be like, okay, and I'm going to. never before has this been successful. So I'm gonna try one more
boy.
time.
Oh,
I'm gonna take
no.
a few steps away, and what I'm going to try to do is cast locate creature using the name Aelin, because theoretically that this person should like light up in my brain if this is
Ah.
this guy and not somebody
Oh.
who is disguised as this
Mm.
person.
Mira, you take steps. You say, okay, excuse me, and like step away from this guy and walk around the corner by Artis, like the shed next to Artis's house, and like step behind that almost, and you pull out your lyre, and you play your few notes, and very discreetly cast locate creature, looking
Yes.
for Aelin.
Yes.
No Aelin shows up.
Uh-oh.
Demon.
Cool.
Demon.
Uh-oh.
Demon.
Great. I'm going to sort of come back to the group and be like, so, I think that it would be a good idea if you were to go back because I'm a little worried about you, and how you're doing, and I want to make sure, we have a policy of informed magical consent, and you just seem a little out of it. And so I
course.
think that it would be I can accompany you back to the teleportation toward the campus. I have to be responsible here.
Can I not
and make
just
sure.
stay and watch? I would love to see this happen.
That's really nice, but I think that I just don't think that's I don't think that's a good idea.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Oh dear.
12 plus 7, 19.
19.
Okay. There's a line of defeat over his face, and he'll say, "Oh, I was very much looking forward to this happening. If you need me to leave, then I will leave. Could I not just look at that page of that spell? That is what interests me most here. If I could just look at it for a few moments. I've never heard of that
You're
spell
not allowed to
before.
look at jars.
Nope.
Please,
That's not really my-
please. It was most of the reason I came all this way was to see something like that.
I
Came
totally
all this way
understand,
as a
and I'm
campus.
very sorry. What I can maybe do is I could give you some book recommendations for the archives, and we can see if you can find something similar over there.
Give me an insight check, please.
Oh my god.
Okay. Not as good. That's a 10 plus 3 for a 13.
This cop wants to catch you selling drugs.
Just wave of disappointment, and his body, like his posture, almost sinks a little bit, and he'll say, I understand. I will be out of your hair in that case.
Okay.
I hope that
So
everything
sorry.
goes very well, though. And if it does, and being on campus is a safer place to find, to speak or be around me, I apologize that me being here makes you, in a way, feel as though I'm not paying attention or am otherwise endangering everyone. But if it does work, I would love to see the final result.
Yeah. Tell. What dorm are you in? Who's your dorm mate? Maybe we'll come find you after.
I would prefer that you find me in the divination building.
Divination building. Okay,
The main
cool.
floor. There's a laboratory there. Room
Laboratory.
07.
Room 07.
This is sus as hell, dude.
Hate this. Great. Perfect. We know where to find you. We know where to notify you. Perhaps when we are done with the spell, we can show it to you.
I would love that.
For now, great. I hope you enjoyed the snacks. I
Thank
can
you.
walk you back to the teleportation circle.
I can find it just fine, but I appreciate
Oh,
you have things to
I would be
do.
I would be a very bad host if I didn't.
And he holds his hands anxiously almost, and he'll say, "Okay, lead the way in that case."
Great. And I will kind of
Yeah.
walk with him back from whence he came.
Okay, you
Into
walk
the
with
shadows
him
of the woods.
back to whence he came. He stands on that teleportation circle, and you can just say Wild Cliff. And Mira, in those last 2 seconds, you see like he looks like he's gonna cry almost as he just teleports away.
What?
What the fuck?
And now there is only 3 interlopers, and you can walk back over. Alina's standing there. She walks up to you and goes, "What was that about?"
I don't know. That was I don't know what that guy's deal was. I didn't think it would be a good idea to have him here.
He seemed quiet, but I mean, you're the person in charge here, I guess. Yeah. So, that generally happens. The 2 necromancy students and Delnus seem to be in a small cluster, chatting, quietly whispering. Occasionally there are looks over the shoulder to Professor Alaro, who is sitting on the edge of that deck with her leg crossed and looking stern for a word. In a way that she typically doesn't. She typically has a very lighthearted or approachable aspect about herself, and in this moment she looks much more of an authority figure than she otherwise usually does. Nonetheless, Integrity, you've spoken with your cousin. Serenap, you have cried. You have relayed your fears and personal anxieties. Winsler, you've reviewed and reread this spell page 7, 8 times now. Are you all ready?
Yes.
As ready as we'll ever be.
Okay.
Emotionally refreshed.
So, tell me what it looks like as you cast this spell, please.
Okay, so I think everybody would probably have to be like in a circle around the bed with the golem in it, right?
Yes.
How many people do we have? So there's me, there's Mira, there's Serenep, there's Integrity, there's Alina,
Mhm.
there's Duet,
Mhm.
and then
So
there's
there's
Luciana.
So
And
that
Delnus.
is...
Yes.
Did you say
Yes.
Delnus already?
I did not say Delnus.
Yeah, there ought to
Yeah,
be
there you
8.
go.
There's
Yes.
8. Okay. So we could probably do like 4 on each side,
Yeah.
sort of in like a circle.
Yes.
If
So
that
you
makes
form a
sense.
circle. Winsler, you are at the head of the bed almost. The golem you can instruct to lie down. Is sheet on or sheet off?
Sheet off. I
Sheet
feel
off.
like at this point I would take it off.
Okay, sheet off. There is like a kind of gasp from Alina when that just physical meat golem form, that quilted appearance, something shocking to a transmutation student, but not shocking to the rest of you or any of the necromancers here, is presented. It will lie down, uttering soft golem as it does, and you can assemble in a circle around. Winsler at the head of the bed, and the rest of you jointed around, similar to a smaller radius than that candle circle that you had made. Do you are you just standing close to one another, or are you going to like physically hold on to one another?
We should all hold hands.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's like the classic summoning.
Yeah,
like
all right.
everybody channeling their power.
Everyone grasps hands with one another. Delnus grabs your hand tightly, Mira. And presumably, Sereneth, you can grab onto Integrity's hand very tightly as well. And whoever else, maybe Mira's, to like just like that anxious, like just please work, and just like white knuckling, grabbing someone's hand. And Winsler, would you like to tell me exactly what you would like to happen in very clear, calm terms?
So Winsler focuses in on the pebble of Artis as he's casting the
yes.
spell.
Is the pebble lying on the bed next to or on top of the golem?
Next to.
Okay, perfect. So it's a two-person, like king-size, queen-size bed, let's be real. And on one side, the meat golem, or flesh golem. On the other, a small stone, skipping stone, oversized with the words Artis Artesian carved into it. Carry on.
Okay. So upon casting the spell, there will be Winsler's focusing in on the pebble of Artis and sort of like trying to like, it's almost like trying to like get like a siphon to work.
Yeah.
Almost. Like you're kind of like messing around with the tube and then the water comes shooting out. It's kind of like that, but with magic from the pebble.
Yes.
Until it like coalesces into like a ball, like hovering right above the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Windsor's trying to like get as much out of the pebble, feeling like, yep, this is a soul.
Yes.
This is definitely what a soul feels like.
You all feel a pull on yourselves as Winsler casts this magic, as he reads from that page and concentrates on what he envisions happening. You all see from that pebble a bluish, almost mist begin to leak out, as if the pebble itself is a sponge instead of a stone, and this blue mist coalesces into a more densely packed spectral figure hovering about 2 feet above the bed's surface. This pull extends. You feel it almost, I describe the feeling of everyone white knuckle grasping each other's hands, but it almost feels as if there's something deeper grabbing into your like brain and pulling on it strongly. The way you feel when you've cast too much magic in the day is the way you feel right now, as if it's all happening at once. And so Winsler, in front of you, you're concentrating on this. Do you have your eyes open and you're watching this? Or is it just a feel that you're going
I would
for?
say it's more of like a feel, like I can envision what is happening and I know exactly where
Perfect.
everything is.
Perfect. In front of you forms the spectral form, similar to what Winsler looked like when his body, or when his soul was pulled out of his body, or Mira and Sereneth when you were without skins in Isethil that time. You see a blue spectral form of Artis Artesian, hovering as if he's lying 2 feet above the surface of the bed. Winsler, I need you to make an Arcana check for me.
Oh, fuck. All right, dice, don't fail me now. Okay. So that's a 15
Total. And can any of you do anything to aid that at all?
I mean, I could hum some music to give my good friend Winsler some bardic inspiration.
That might be a good idea. What does
a
it?
D8 that you could roll and add.
What does the song Mira hums sound like?
What is Artis's favorite music?
I mean, probably dad rock, right? I mean, he is a dad rock.
I'm on the high.
I mean, hopefully not for much longer.
Right.
I hope.
I think it would be like one of those folk songs that everybody sings to their kids when they're young. Just one that everybody knows.
Okay.
One that kind of makes me think of family.
Yeah. So this
Which makes me think of Artis.
folksy humming kind of ebbs out in this clearing of trees behind Artis's cottage. It sounds louder than it ought to, likely just because of the dead silence elsewhere. The candle light is flickering, those firebugs off in the woods dancing around. So Mira, he gets a D8 of inspiration.
Yes.
If you'd like to use that now, Winsler, which I would recommend you do.
It was a D8, was it?
Yes, it is a D8.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That was a 6.
Okay.
So for a total of
21.
21.
Mhm.
I was very concerned that I was going to roll another 1 because last time I got a Bardic Inspiration, I rolled a 1.
You all feel the pull strongly, almost like a bad headache. It begins to like throb in your head, and you all see Winsler straining, sweat dripping from his forehead. Until Mira, you begin to hum this song, and that strain is eased ever so slightly. You feel the people next to you grasping hands a bit weaker. You feel that pull on your mind a bit softer, and you see the spectral form of Artis Artesian in front of you, almost as if it looks like ink in water. It drifts down towards the golem's body and slowly seeps through the cracks in the skin. As it does, all of that arcane energy, all that lightning that had been pushed into this golem's form does begin to come out as it is forced out by Artis's soul. I need
Shit.
each of you to make intelligence saving throws.
Oh, fuck.
And the NPCs are going to make these as well.
11. Probably a failure then. Oh yeah, plus nothing.
21.
11.
14.
23. Uh-oh.
7.
Yikes.
Well, it was nice knowing all you
We're in this
guys.
together.
Bye.
Life for a life. For both of us, I think that's a fair trade.
Damn.
I'd trade you and I for an artist.
So what were the rolls? Please remind me. Integrity 21,
21.
Winsler,
23.
Mira,
11.
and Saraneth.
7.
Let me do some rolls.
Oh, God.
Hello, I am the human.
But you're a lightning.
lightning rod. So
You're a lightning child of lightning.
I'm a lightning.
Yeah, but
child.
what about mind lightning? What about brain lightning, huh?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I will only come back stronger
Oh, dear.
after I die first.
I don't like that deep sigh you did.
I don't like it either, man.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This is the first serious Luke.
Oh, this is not good.
Okay. Mira and Saraneth, how are you both doing hit point wise?
I haven't lost any hit points today,
Okay.
so I'm
This
at
is
48.
the same day as the duel. So Mira, you might be missing some.
Yes, I have 18 hit points at the moment. I mean, I
Okay.
imagine like we would have taken a short rest, just like
That makes
the hour
sense.
of-
Yeah, when you were cleaning.
so I can roll hit dice, but
We can say you're all back to full for the sake of
Okay.
ease, for the sake of this. Nonetheless, those who got less than 17, which is you, Mira, and Saraneth, please take 32 points of lightning damage.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Saraneth, I don't think that should be an issue for you as that is halved due to your draconic heritage. So take, in that case, 16 points of lightning damage. And then for
Yep.
you, Winsler and Integrity, also take 16 points of lightning damage
That
as you succeeded on the save.
That still hurts.
it hurts, but I'm conscious.
You see...
If it was the full damage, I would have been unconscious.
Damn.
Yes, I'm glad. And Integrity, are you conscious still?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good.
Phew.
Oh no.
You see Alina, Duet, and Delnus drop like corpses
What?
as the lightning lashes out and wraps around them. Mira, you feel her grip immediately disappear, both magically in your mind and your hand holding onto her. So now you're just holding a limp hand next to you.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to. You can act on that in a moment. I'll let you. The rest of you, this hurts badly. It feels as though there's knives in your head, physical electricity or physical lightning running over the skin of your body. Sereneph, a comforting feeling amidst this, actually, as you feel a charge, a tingle run down your spine. The rest of you, this is pure pain. This hurts. Blood comes. You see blood coming from one another's eyes or nose as this takes its toll on your on your physical body after affecting you mentally. Luciana, you see also a bit of blood coming from underneath one of her eyes, dripping out like a tear. And she is also holding one of Duet's hands. The other one is in your hand, Winsler. And then next to her is Alina also, and then being held up, presumably by Integrity. You see Artis's soul slip very easily now into the flesh golem's body. Now that the electricity or the lightning, that arcane energy imparted onto it is gone, you might hear a creak from behind you as Professor Alaro stands up from the deck. The lightning lashes out into the ground and into your minds. The bed sheets are scorched. That other rock, the one that Artis's soul was in, gets hit and goes flinging off into the woods. You could find it, but it would take hours at this point. It's somewhere into the underbrush. And then the lightning stops after a brief 4 or 5 seconds of outburst as it's dissipated. And the flesh golem will sit up and look around in a way that it seems more than what it once was. And I think that's a relief to see. It opens its mouth and looks at you, Winsler, and can only say, Golem, in that hollow kind of tone that the Golem was saying it in. The magic has succeeded. We're paused at this very moment, to be clear.
So we need the potion and we need to heal our friends.
This is very serious. You know right now, because you were connected with them in this magic circle, Alina, Duet, and Delnus are dead right now.
Oh.
Fuck.
I immediately drop down and I get my diamonds and I cast Revivify on Delnus.
Could you read what that spell does for me?
Yes.
Life.
You touch a creature that has died within the last minute.
Yes.
That creature returns to life with 1 hit point. The spell can't return to life a creature that has died of old age, nor can it restore any missing body parts.
Okay. You reach down immediately. You just pull from all of your pockets looking for this small pouch of diamonds you carry on your person always, Mira, and you grab one and hold it dear in your hand and grasp at your girlfriend's chest where her heart is almost. And what does Mira casting this magic look like?
I think that her hands are just like trembling as she's like reaching for her instrument and like strumming on it. Not only the fact that like this is her girlfriend who is dead right now, but also the fact that she has tried this spell once and it did not go well. So I think that the notes are a little bit shaky. They are imperfect, but the music sort of travels upward in the same way that one's soul would after death, I think.
Okay.
And I just have kind of my body right by hers and I'm trying to breathe life into it.
Okay. The rest of you might have noticed while Mira ducks down to do this. You all know this in this moment, what has happened to these people too. You see that Professor Alaro has rushed over to the young kobold Duet and seems to be pulling from her pouch some sort of gems in a similar manner. Alina's also there on the ground, limp. How long does it take to cast this spell? Just one action?
Instantaneous.
Okay, perfect. Amira, you play these notes and look into Delnus's eyes. They're dead and just staring up at the night sky. And as the notes resound across this clearing, this wooded clearing, it's almost as if she hears them in the eyes. Her eyes like shake. Her head twitches a little bit in a way that brings you right back to the last time you cast this spell. And then she just looks straight at you and takes a large gulp of air in, and then will cough and cry, Mira, and pull at your sleeve or your hand and just pull you closer.
I'm going to hold her close, I'm going to basically be holding her with my right hand toward my chest, and with the other, I'm going to be digging through my pouch for my last of my 3 sets of diamonds for Alina.
Okay. Are you going to leave Delnis here and rush over to Alina?
Well, they should be like kind of near each other, right? Because we're all
Yes.
around the bed. So I think that I'm going to like be like, I will be back in just 1 second. I am so sorry. And I'm going to run to Alina, and I'm going to use the last of my diamonds, and I'm going to cast Revivify again.
Okay. You do so in a similar manner, less emotionally this time, still shaking,
Yes.
but less out of just instinct and more calm. You've had 5 or 6 seconds to think about what you're doing. You rush over around the bed, past all of your friends who are just standing there onlooking, like people at a mass incident of some kind, unable to do anything, and kneel down next to Alina, your roommate, this small halfling's body, and can do the same thing. The rest of you can look over and see that Professor Alaro is standing over Duet's body, seemingly having done magic of a similar sort, and is helping the small kobold up to her feet. Professor Alaro looks furious. Back with Mira, you play these notes, and Alina has a less instantaneous response. Her eyes open, but she's still just staring up, and she'll look at you and say, "What? Did I just die?"
Yes, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't know this. I didn't know this could happen. I didn't mean to. I am so sorry. You're back. You're okay. You're safe now. And I'm like, while I'm saying that, like, I'm getting up and I'm going to first like try to help her up, and then I'm going to go back over to Delnis.
Yes.
Like, right now I'm not even like really paying attention to the bed where Artis and the flesh golem is currently seated. I'm just focusing on my friends.
Okay. Delnis is just sprawled on the ground. She's shaking. I think it's easy to see Professor Alaro is staring furiously and takes a moment and walks away. Not into the woods, but off away from this group into the dark to collect herself for a moment. What are the rest of you doing right now?
I think Serenep hasn't let go of Integrity's hand
Mm-hmm.
because I think she is registering that her cousin is in pain from the electric, and she's like, I guess in her head she's like trying to siphon that electric effect out of her body and put it in herself instead.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does. You feel tingles going up your arm from where your cousin is holding on. Integrity, how are you responding to all of this? The golem almost looks at you blankly as well and will say, "Golem."
I think I'm going to like try and sort of let go of Serenip's hand, or like any hand that I'm holding,
Mm-hmm.
because I think like for Integrity, she feels at this moment very disgusting.
Interesting.
Like, because of the role that she played, and for that instant where it's like she can't do anything, she knows that with Alina, she was like the one who talked her into it.
Mm-hmm. I think that it really sits with you then when you see Professor Alaro run over to Duet, and then Mira just stays with Delnis. And you, for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, just watch Alina there on the ground. And you think to when you just pushed that flyer back into her hand a couple hours ago. And then you see Mira rush over, take action that you don't have the power to do. And that's what's on your mind.
And I think also perhaps like a little bit of a flashback of like her youth, because something of this sort happened, like not exactly, but she does not have any recollection of what happened.
Yes. Being in the woods, being around people, seeing someone fall to the ground limp like that after all holding hands and trying to do something magical definitely brings memories up that you would rather not be thinking of right now, Integrity.
Yes. So at that point, like she just like wanted to like.
Okay. Winsler.
She's feeling sort of ways.
Winsler, what are you doing? The golem looks at you. Golem.
Well, I think with Winsler, his attention is like darting back between the golem and like,
The
friends just on the ground dead, and then also being revived. It's like almost like a panic.
You felt that in your brain in a way I don't think you'll promptly forget, where you could feel yourself tapped into almost their magic, Winsler, like a tap into a tree to get the sap, right? And then you just felt that disappear, right? Erased, gone, right? In a way that if you see someone die or you experience that, it's not the same, right? But almost being a part of them in that moment and feeling that absence, it's an impactful thing.
I think in like just coming to terms with what happened, he's going to provide medical attention via cure wounds to whoever is like been revivified and
Absolutely.
could use like a good boost.
Sure. Duet is right next to you. You can bend down to this kobold, the bubblegum pink kobold, and provide additional healing. The golem watches on as all of you kind of are staggered, as it were. Mira Delmas is just clutching you as hard as she can, and just whimpering almost.
Yeah, I'm just holding back onto her.
Do you say anything comforting?
I don't think Mira says anything
Okay.
in this moment. I think that she is just still and holding Delmas.
Okay. The moments pass then. The golem, confused, it seems, looks around. Professor Olaro stands off by the trees. You hear heavy panting coming from her direction. It almost looks like you see her like bend over at a certain point, and it sounds like she's heaving in a way, as if that took a lot out of her. Winsler, the golem looks down at you. I think it stands up and walks to you and will say, "Golem." It looks at you with eyes that are not so empty any longer. Do you want to do anything?
I think he's gonna like look up and like stare the golem like dead in the eyes and sort of say, "We'll fix this, Artis. We'll fix it."
Okay.
And I'm gonna guide the golem over to like a not crowded area next to the bed, and I'm going to pull out the tiny vial with the true polymorph potion in.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it not in like a traditional drink this potion kind of way. So Windsor's gonna uncork it. He's sort of gonna like use like what magic he has left to sort of like make it flow out of the potion or like the vial and sort of like turn the liquid into like a magic spell almost.
Almost like coating the hands but not touching it.
Yeah, and so it makes like a nice circle, and he just like gently pushes it towards the golem while also like focusing hard on like the image of Artis that was on the bed.
Absolutely. The book sits there still, a bit singed from where the lightning and arcane energy cracked out against it. And so you push this, you take, it's similar to what we see whenever Integrity casts her magic disc with that vial of mercury, and it spreads out almost razor thin to be 5 feet wide. A similar thing, Winsler. You take this vial and almost pour it in the air. It sticks as if it's touching a surface you cannot see, and you push it out once it's a 3-ish foot diameter disc, and it touches the golem's skin and begins to fizz like hydrogen peroxide fizzes against a wound or against water, and that slowly just starts to coat his body. Winsler, this close, you see it, it's almost burning away the parts that aren't what you're imagining for Artis's form, and it lasts almost 2 minutes before it just completely dissipates. The patchwork quilted flesh that was before you is no longer. It is now a pale, pale skin of a underfed man, about 6'4", with long elven ears, long black hair that goes down almost to his shoulders, now that it's not being kept back by a braid or a ribbon. And he looks at you with these piercing blue eyes, devoid of any bags and without any real wrinkles, Winsler. And he will say, "Thank you so much for saving my life." And Artis Artesian will give you a very large, naked hug, Winsler.
Oh, God.
Oh,
And that's where we'll end this episode,
yeah,
folks.
I was about to say, the man's got no clothes. Well,
That's
moment
where
is
we'll
now,
end
my immersion
this
is now
episode.
ruined.
Carla, could you give us an outro, please, and thank you?
My immersion.
Hello, And I hope that you all enjoyed this very emotional, very, what's the word for it? Like, give me words, everyone.
Soul crushing.
Soul crushing.
I
Intense.
cried a lot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Was it cathartic in any way?
Cathartic.
Yeah.
Good word.
Ha
There you
ha
go.
ha.
There's a lot of catharting happening.
We hope that you all enjoyed this episode.
Mhm.
I can't even think of what to say. Please leave a rating or a review on our iTunes or wherever you listen to this podcast. It really means a lot to us.
Yes.
If it happens that you don't want to leave a comment or anything because you're trying to hide, or you just don't want it, please share us with your friends or
Yes.
your acquaintances or anyone you know who you think may enjoy
Yes.
this content that we are making
Mhm.
here. We also have an Instagram and a Twitter at Trials and Trebs. On there, you can see art and teasers, and you can also find the link to our Patreon there.
Yes. Or
Um,
in the description of this episode.
Yes, and there on our Patreon, you can access things such as bloopers
Mhm.
and extra content. You can also see or hear our CNCs, our conversations and catapults, earlier than the usual.
You can also
Um,
submit Patreon NPCs, such as Duet, who is from True Lily, or Luciana, who is from Guillermo, or Aylin, who is from Kane. Thank you
Knew
all
it.
for submitting those Patreon NPCs. Sorry that I killed one of them right away. Sorry, Lily.
I mean,
Yeah,
They
sorry.
they came back.
Yeah, she's back.
I mean, we brought her back, but sorry, anyways.
Whoops. Oopsie doops.
So yeah, you can donate money to us to help keep us
This show running.
warm and keep
You're losing it, Carla.
Oh, and last but not the least, we also have a Discord where you can meet people who are listening to this podcast as well. Maybe, maybe not. They're pretty cool. You
Yeah.
can discuss the episodes with them. You can join listening parties where people listen to the podcast all at the same time. And generally, there's just like good vibes. So
Join it.
go on there, and you can find the link to that on also
The episode description.
on down there.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for listening this week. Sorry for any panic that might have been caused. I hope you enjoyed it, though, and I hope that you look forward to next week when we get to hear artists speak. Until then, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.